The courtroom was silent. The air was thick with tension. And at the center of it all, Robert Redford. The legendary actor and filmmaker sat at the defense table, his expression calm, his hands folded. Across from him, a ruthless lawyer smirked. "Mr. Redford," the lawyer sneered. "I know you've played clever men in the movies, but this is real life, and in real life, you don't get a script to save you." The courtroom laughed. Even the judge shook his head, amused. Everyone thought Redford was just another Hollywood star out of his depth. But what happened next? Nobody saw coming. Because Robert Redford was about to prove that he didn't need a script to outsmart them all. It all started with a high-stakes lawsuit. A major film studio had accused Redford of breaching a multi-million-dollar deal to direct and produce a documentary. Their lead attorney, David Langley, was known for his ruthless tactics. He had taken down actors, directors, even entire studios in court. And today, he was going after Robert Redford. "Your Honor," Langley said, standing confidently. Mr. Redford signed a contract. He made a promise, and then he walked away, leaving my client with nothing. That is not how Hollywood works. We are seeking full financial damages. He turned to Redford, smirking. "Tell me, Mr. Redford, do you think being a Hollywood legend puts you above the law?" The courtroom chuckled. The judge nodded, appearing unimpressed by Redford's calm demeanor. Then, Redford stood up, and just like that, the laughter stopped. Redford walked to the podium, his every movement slow and deliberate. Then, in that unmistakable, smooth voice, he said something that no one expected. "I respect contracts, Mr. Langley, but I don't respect liars." The smirk on Langley's face vanished. The judge frowned. "Mr. Redford, are you suggesting that the plaintiff's case is dishonest?" Redford nodded once. Then, he pulled out a small leather notebook. "I'd like to read a direct quote," he said, flipping through the pages. He found the passage, then looked straight at the judge. "Clause 4B of my agreement states, 'The producer retains full creative control over all aspects of the project.'" He turned to Langley. "Yet the studio demanded changes. They tried to force me into making a documentary that twisted the truth. That wasn't the story I agreed to tell." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. The judge leaned forward. "Are you saying the studio attempted to interfere with your creative rights?" Redford met his gaze. "I'm not saying it, Your Honor. Their own emails do." Redford's lawyer stood, handing a thick stack of documents to the court. "Your Honor, these are internal emails from the plaintiff's executives outlining their plan to override Mr. Redford's creative authority." The judge skimmed the pages. His expression darkened. Langley's face turned white. "Your Honor, this is irrelevant," Langley stammered. "The contract is clear." The judge slammed his gavel. "What's clear, Mr. Langley, is that your client tried to manipulate Mr. Redford into making a film he never agreed to." Langley's mouth opened, but no words came out. Robert Redford had just flipped the case on its head. For the first time, Langley looked nervous. "You want to talk about promises, Mr. Langley?" Redford said, his voice steady. He pointed at the emails. "Your client made a promise. They promised me creative freedom. And then, behind my back, they tried to take it away. That's the real breach of contract." Langley tried to recover. "Your Honor, The judge raised a hand. "I've heard enough." The courtroom fell silent. The judge exhaled sharply. "Mr. Redford, your argument is compelling. The plaintiff's actions suggest bad faith. I have no choice but to dismiss the case." Gasps filled the room. Langley slumped in defeat. Robert Redford had won. Without theatrics, without tricks, just the truth. The judge didn't stop there. He turned to Langley's team. "I am also ordering a full review of the plaintiff's business practices. Attempting to manipulate a contract in this way is deeply concerning." Langley looked like he was about to pass out. His reputation? Destroyed. The studio? Humiliated. As for Redford, he simply nodded, gathered his notes, and walked out. No victory speech, no grandstanding, just pure Robert Redford. The case was over, but the message was clear. Redford had stood his ground against a powerful studio, because to him, integrity mattered more than money. And that's why he wasn't just a legendary actor. He was a man who never backed down from the truth. What do you think? Did the studio get what they deserved? Let's discuss in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories.